Are you a trader? Then this is your chance to show your skills. Sign up to the ultimate demo trading competition on capex.com. Easy to register, no sign-up fee. Go now to capex.com. Search for the competition and sign up now to win. Terms and conditions apply. Capex.com is operated by JME Financial Services Pty Ltd, an authorized financial services provider. Join the competition today. Capex.com.
Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Ted Turner. Success leaves clues, kids. I just named 5 of the greatest names in business in the last 150 years. And they all have one thing in common. They're ball busters. They're hard as nails. Where does that leave you? I still work 50, 60 hours a week. And I haven't had to work in 35 years. You're not willing to do anything. You're not willing to sacrifice anything to be a high-performance person.
I don't want to be like Dad.
No, most people don't.
I want to be liked.
Yeah, well, see, you want to fit in. I'm the only speaker that you're ever going to hear that really, with all his heart, doesn't give a shit. If I leave here you liking me, I did something wrong.
Some say it's about natural talent. We say it's about strategy, discipline, tactics, and training to be the best. We say it's about persistence. We say success comes when preparation meets opportunity. We say it's all about the team. Capex.com, Juventus official trading partner. Chase your goals.
Look, I'm exhausted. Had it all figured out and I lost it. They say that's the cost, but it just feels like a lot. Stop, are you going or not? I miss certainty. Miss the 9 to 5s, knowing exactly where I need to be and why I'm not built for this. Progress moves in slow motion. They're out making money and getting promotions, saying all the right things, pulling all the right levers. While I sit here, write my future self love letters. Who's winning? Is this the end or beginning? 'Cause I'm starting to feel like reality's slipping, and bank accounts, they aren't very forgiving, and life on edge feels like falling, not living. If effort brings victory, what am I missing? Nothing good comes easy. When we have to, we push through, not knowing completely. You're here because you're made for this next level, taking these places that most people won't. Start embracing it. Who cares what they do? They're not you. You'll go through more now than you think you're supposed to, but that shows you can cope with the highs and the lows, because you rose to be more. Could have run away, could have avoided the thorns, could have been comfortable. Blood, sweat, and tears, they're expendable. No more pretending, man, build something memorable. Don't drink from their cup or by stories they tell, because when all their time's up, you'll have dug your own well. You did it. Use lifelines, you're topped off for a lifetime. So drop all those one-liners, we'll get them next time. No, this time is your time, and whatever you decide will end up being real life. No stop signs, just storylines. This whole thing is a misunderstanding, a miscalculation. Jumped and missed the landing. I'm mystified, I can waste so much time. These ovations are strictly imagination, not standing. So much for planning, guess fate left without me. Those failure statistics, yeah, they'll be about me. Was overly optimistic, forgot the logistics. Guess we all learn sometime, don't we? Good is not good enough. No, how long do I stay down before I let go? I buried my pride and took it inside, but never enough. It takes a toll, it gets old getting told you've got miles of road left to go. You're alone with this future unknown. Just go home. Just go home, it's safe there. Yeah, I'll find some embrace there. Look, it's time to admit defeat. A humble retreat, check the box and complete to my core. Intrinsically, it's not for me, I can't do this. I knew this is how it would be. No fame, no fortune, no names on marquees. Just running in place every day on repeat. This is the world I wanna see, where everything's taken with no guarantees. No. Come on, man, pick your head up. Go back inside half a life's learning to get up. How can I make you see that you have everything you need and what you want to be is never out of reach? Fate deceives sometimes, but destiny's calling, so can't let the phone ring. You know there's no all-knowing. Go level up, no letdowns. Let the world in, push fear out. It's self-belief. It starts right now. When hell freezes, you lay down. Until then, this is your town. It's your story, it's your crown. Live in the clouds, feet on the ground. They stand still, you run around. Go mesmerize, or they socialize. There's dollar signs to be maximized. If you live it right, regret nothing. Loud applause, the sweetest sound, and this moment won't happen again, and never becomes forever unless you choose to begin. So see greatness in each step and power in progress. Your future, yeah, that's limitless, it's infinite. Don't forget you want this.
Are you a trader? Then this is your chance to show your skills. Sign up to the ultimate demo trading competition on capex.com. Easy to register, no sign-up fee. Go now to capex.com. Search for the competition and sign up now to win. Terms and conditions apply. capex.com is operated by JME Financial Services Pty Ltd, an authorized financial services provider. Join the competition today. capex.com.
Be the kind of trader who sees the big picture. The world is changing around you. Global threats push gold, the safe haven asset, to higher prices each and every day. Now's your chance to start trading gold. Just go to capex.com and register to get up to a $5,000 bonus on your first deposit. Simply use GOLD5000 as a promo code and you're good to go. capex.com proudly welcomes you to the next level trading experience. Register now and start taking full advantage of the new gold rush. Terms and conditions apply. Exposure to gold obtained via contracts for difference, which are leveraged products and incur a high level of risk. capex.com is operated by JME Financial Services Pty Ltd, an authorized financial services provider.
Are you a trader? Then this is your chance to show your skills. Sign up to the ultimate demo trading competition on capex.com. Easy to register, no sign-up fee. Go now to capex.com. Search for the competition and sign up now to win. Terms and conditions apply. capex.com is operated by JME Financial Services Pty Ltd, an authorized financial services provider. Join the competition today. capex.com.
Some say it's about natural talent. We say it's about strategy, discipline, tactics, and training to be the best. We say it's about persistence. We say success comes when preparation meets opportunity. We say it's all about the team. Capex.com, Juventus official trading partner. Chase your goals.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
Good afternoon and welcome to Bull Markets Talk Show. This is your host Rian Hobson, and we're actually doing today the story of the Nelson Mandela Bay, where the COVID cases is actually literally getting a bit out of hand, as this morning it was reported that over 4,000 people are actually infected in South Africa with COVID-19, and it is actually what they say, a second wave, or I like to say it as a resurgence in the COVID-19 cases. Now, the thing is not that the virus actually disappeared. It was since the beginning of this year is with us, and it's still with us. But the thing is, it's now a touch and go situation, because it's easy to lock down an economy, as we saw in March and in April, or I would say from April, May, June, July, August, maybe until now, where you can lock down the economy, and the problem is, how do you restart it? And now also on the other part is that you have to save lives as well. So you have to choose. There's no a good solution for this. You can lock down the economy, and then you have other consequences. If you don't lock down the economy, then you have other consequences. So there's always consequences, whatever decision you will make. And the thing is, with South Africa, our resources are literally stretched, especially when it comes to finance, and with the government capabilities of giving stimulus money or UIF money to the people if they lock down the economy. So if you don't lock down the economy, then you have loss of life, which is currently happening in Port Elizabeth. Now, I did not check on the information on the Western Cape, but what I do know in Port Elizabeth is that there is a few hotels in Port Elizabeth, big hotels. One of them is the Radisson Blu, that actually was this morning, where they actually stated that 62% of their beds, I would say, or their rooms are cancelled, and it was actually built, and it was actually at full capacity, and it's been cancelling now. There's also another one, as we all know, the Holiday Inn, that's also been cancelled, and is sitting at about 70% of cancellations, and people are still pressing on cancellations. I don't know yet about the other bed and breakfasts, the other small ones that's normally in Summerstrand. But as I can just imagine, if the Radisson Blu and also the Holiday Inn and other hotels are sitting with a 60 to 70% cancellation rate, then you can imagine the small businesses, the bed and breakfasts, and those type of businesses that also sit with a very high cancellation rate. Now, obviously, the people are nervous because there's a possibility that the president might close down Port Elizabeth and also other parts of the country for the spread of COVID. So it looks like he will address the nation soon, because the rand is also getting a bit of a beating. But this is important industries for Port Elizabeth, and there's a chain reaction towards this. And I fully understand where people say we need to look at saving lives, but we must also not forget it's not COVID that only kill people in South Africa. There's HIV, there's TB, and which was actually very irritating for me yesterday when I was reading something, even this morning also, where they closed actually a TB hospital, and where 38 nurses actually went on strike because they closed the TB hospital in Uitenhage, and it's just outside Port Elizabeth. The thing is that the nurses' side I do understand, but what the media is doing is actually portraying that the nurses are actually lazy, and the first time when I saw it, I knew that the nurses were striking because they were more concerned on the TB patients. And when someone actually, a very good Samaritan, that actually went and asked the nurses, but why are they striking? And then they actually said that they are actually in defense of the TB people. And it makes sense, because that is what they're being trained for, is actually to look after TB patients. And now they wanted to actually to transform the TB hospital into a hospital that will actually accommodate COVID patients. And it is actually sad, because TB is also extremely dangerous, actually more dangerous than COVID. And I fully understand that we're feeling the heat and in Port Elizabeth, where people are basically dying of COVID. Some actually exaggerating, I must say, because there was one incident, or not just one, a few, where people were literally ill, and then rumors were going around that a person died of COVID, and which was not the case. So people must stop exaggerating regarding this important situation. If the person is not dead of COVID, don't make up your own stuff. Please, just rather keep quiet if you don't know the whole story. But the thing is now is that the businesses are actually falling under huge amount of pressure. And this is just not just the hospitality industry, but is a wide range of industries that will actually fall apart if the Nelson Mandela metro get closed down. And not just Nelson Mandela, but also the Western Cape. It will be a serious catastrophe for job losses. And with job losses come other problems, which will have increased poverty. And already in the Eastern Cape alone, there's approximately 33 children that die every single day, newborn babies that actually die every single day from preventable diseases. And nobody seems to bother about that. And also on the other thing, if you lock down the economy, there's also other consequences that goes with it. Like yesterday, I was totally shocked. And I didn't even know about it, but they actually said in the Eastern Cape and also in other parts of South Africa, there's a surge in the abuse of old people. And old people literally get beaten up by their own loved ones. And it actually increased during the lockdown. Now, it could be that the old people earned more money during the lockdown, and that is where the children of the grandmother and grandfathers were starting abusing their parents or their grandparents. So you have other consequences also what happens with the lockdown. So at the end, we need to look at what worked and what did not work.
Loud applause, the sweetest sounding. This moment won't happen again and never becomes forever unless you choose to begin. So see greatness in each step and power and progress. That's limitless, it's infinite. Don't forget you want this.
Are you a trader? Then this is your chance to show your skills. Sign up to the ultimate demo trading competition on capex.com. Easy to register, no sign-up fee. Go now to capex.com. Search for the competition and sign up now to win. Terms and conditions apply. Capex.com is operated by JME Financial Services, Pty Ltd, an authorized financial services provider. Join the competition today. Capex.com.
Some say it's about natural talent. We say it's about strategy, discipline, tactics, and training to be the best. We say it's about persistence. We say success comes when preparation meets opportunity. We say it's all about the team. Capex.com, Juventus official trading partner. Chase your goals.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
Good afternoon and welcome to Bull Market Stock Show. This is your host Rian Hobson, and we're doing actually the story of COVID, or the second wave in the Nelson Mandela metro belt that's actually hitting hard, and a lot of businesses will actually suffer because of this, as the cancellations is actually increasing on the hospitality industry. I would say basically it will it will hit the service sector in Port Elizabeth actually extremely hard. And I fully understand where a lot of people are in fear of the virus, but honestly, I think that we just have to live with it. There's absolutely nothing we can do to stop the COVID. We had a lockdown, as I said before I went into the break. We had a lockdown in the beginning of this year, or a few months ago, and which didn't prevent anything. Although it did slow down the spread of COVID, but the virus still spread it, and it was actually, it reached its peak in July. And the consequences of that is that 75,000 jobs were lost in the Eastern Cape alone. That is just from January until July. So 75,000 jobs were basically lost, and that all go into the into the manufacturing sector and also in the hospitality and leisure sector. And the thing is also the IRONMAN competition was cancelled in the beginning of this year, which is a huge booster for the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro. And obviously the foot trafficking it helps a lot with the economy. Although we will not get international tourism that much now for the Christmas season, but at least we will have people from Johannesburg, or I would say from the inland, that move to the coast to come and relax. And if the president do cut or do lock down the Nelson Mandela Metro and other parts of South Africa, especially the Western Cape, and then I don't know, will a lot of business actually start again? Because then you have that uncertainty again, because there's a lot of businesses that try to restart it again, and now they sit again with a lockdown. So will they start it again for the third time? I'm just not sure, because there will be so much uncertainty regarding the next wave. When will the next wave come? And will this one will be a hard lockdown, a level 3 or level 4 lockdown? So it's a huge loss of money for a lot of people. And I know a lot of people will say that you can't calculate people's lives, but also there's also an increase in suicides in South Africa. The numbers is going to about 23 per day. And it's still increasing. There's about 20 suicide attempts, and 23 is successful every single day. And with this lockdown, the first lockdown in South Africa, the gender-based violence cases went through the roof. The calls went through the roof. And as I explained also, I did not know that the abuse on old people was so enormous during the lockdown, and we just don't know about this stuff. So can we say that the lockdown really worked? Because there were still people dying during the lockdown, the first lockdown that was implemented in April. The virus still spread. So we did not win the battle in the first lockdown. So I honestly can't see how a second lockdown will help actually saving lives. It is just not possible. It is basically impossible, because if the first one did not work, how will the second one work? And if you add another 75,000 job losses onto the already 75,000 jobs that were lost, then we will sit with 150,000 jobs were lost for a population of 1 million people. Job losses. And in Nelson Mandela Bay is about 1.2 million people that actually stays here. So 150,000 job losses just in approximately in a year, that is a huge amount, because the side effects of that is enormous. Will that people ever see a job again? Will that entrepreneurs see the appetite to start a business again? Because if it's not the lockdown, then it's other problems, political problems that South Africa faces. And with all that uncertainty, it makes things difficult to run a business in South Africa, and especially in the Nelson Mandela Metropole. And the thing is, what makes this sector of the world, the Nelson Mandela Metropole, unique is the garden route, that most people stop here in Port Elizabeth, have a bit of sightseeing, eat the food here, and then drive the garden route through. That whole entire stretch will be dead if the prisons come with a lockdown. And that creates a lot of money. It runs far in the millions. For example, with Radisson Blu, there's a rumor that goes around that the hotel already had a loss of about 3 million just for the cancellations. 3 million. That is one hotel. How many hotels are just there in Nelson Mandela Metropole? How many bed and breakfasts are there? And it's not just the hotel. It's a ripple effect that goes on. You have the restaurants, and that is a massive sector. If the restaurants goes out, you must know people will not have tips. The waiters will not have tips. And there's a lot of waiters who pay for their studies, who literally pay for their studies by getting their tips from the restaurants. Then you have your transportation sector that's literally dead. All those people that drive the garden route, their tour guides and all of those things is dead. Then you have the arts and culture that normally comes up at this time of the year, where you have different events that goes on in the metro. For example, you have Kwaito stars, you have hip-hop stars, you have all the musicians and whoever that comes to the Nelson Mandela Metropole and literally enjoy the arts and culture in the region. And that is totally dead. All that booking's gone. The historical sites that is here, the wildlife gone. How will the wildlife look after those animals if they don't have any revenue? And besides those animals, how will the people look after themselves? And especially now, which is a very sensitive time for a lot of parents, because kids they want toys. They want to go out. It is Christmas, and people normally prepare your big meals this time of the year. Will the people have money to do that? It is a normal custom for a lot of South Africans to sit with family members, even for old people, young people, to sit with family members around the table, eating heavy lunches and desserts. And with no income, that is not possible. The strain on parents not having a job, and you sit on the festive season and you're supposed to be jolly, but you just lost your job. And normally this time of the year is where your suicide rates is actually increasing because of that pressure. So yes, we can lock down the economy, but what is the consequences of this? And did the first lockdown work? The first lockdown, and I will repeat myself, it did not work. As sad as it is, but people need to move on with their lives. The people that did pass away from COVID is literally people who needed to work. Most of them needed to go to work. They don't have a choice, or they did not have a choice. They needed to go to work to feed their families. Sad to say, they lost their lives. How will you want to lock up yourself. Fine, how will you feed your family? That is the reality. And we all know with the system with the UIF, that story is totally a mess. So you can't rely on the government for UIF money, because I doubt it will come. The fiscus of South Africa is totally dry. Don't even talk about the Nelson Mandela-based fiscus. It's totally bone dry. So I personally can't see how will they give extra stimulus for people to sit at home. That is just not possible, because it did not work in the first lockdown. People were waiting months for their money. Some didn't even get it. I know a lot of people are screaming lockdown. Maybe for those of you that can afford it, yes. But what about those who can't? What about those who need to work? And for those ones, or those heroes that already lost their lives, that didn't have a choice but to go to work. As sad as it is. But we do find a way to work around this. We can't go around each other's throats. It is a sad time. But COVID is not the only killer in actually Nelson Mandela Metropole or in other parts of South Africa. You have TB, you have gender-based violence, you have HIV, you have cancer, you have accidents, you have all of those other things that also cause death. Although we know that the TV literally draws into just concentrate on COVID and the spread of it. But we need to actually look after ourselves. We need to accept also the fact that I explained to someone yesterday. There are some people who never even knew before about hand sanitizer. So you want now, all of a sudden, someone to understand sanitizer, who never in his life used sanitizer before, or even washed his hands. We know a lot of people who worked with dirty hands and ate with their dirty hands. So you want now that person to change his behavior overnight. Is that even possible? No. We are not the same. We behave differently. Every person behaves differently. You can't have a militant way of ruling people. People are different in different forms, in different shapes and sizes. People absorb information differently. Maybe you and I understand that we need to sanitize our hands and put on a mask. But not everybody understands that concept. Whether you try to enforce it on them, they will just behave actually, you will just anger them. And then they will show you they will not do it. It's like, for example, someone forcing you, for example, like the story of the Afrikaans story in the apartheid regime, where they force people to actually to understand Afrikaans. And what did you get? A revolt. So you can't force someone to do things. You will get a revolt. You will get people that will revolt. And people will show you that they will not wear it. So people behave differently. We just have to look after you as yourself. You can hand sanitize your hands, wear your mask, and just look after yourself. But at the end, this economy needs to stay open. Because the onslaught of job losses for South Africa, especially in the restaurant industry, it will be terrible and devastating for the Nelson Mandela Metropole. The transportation sector, the wildlife, it will be devastating. I hope the president don't come with a hard lockdown. I really hope so. I will just take a short break and then I'll be back with some more information.
The champ is here! 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 The champ.
Look, I'm exhausted. Had it all figured out and I lost it. They say that's the cost, but it just feels like a lot. Stop, are you going or not? I miss certainty. Miss the 9 to 5s, knowing exactly where I need to be and why I'm not built for this. Progress moves in slow motion. They're out making money and getting promotions, saying all the right things, pulling all the right levers. While I sit here, write my future self love letters. Who's winning? Is this the end or beginning? 'Cause I'm starting to feel like reality's slipping, and bank accounts, they aren't very forgiving, and life on edge feels like falling, not living. If effort brings victory, what am I missing? Nothing good comes easy. When we have to, we push through, not knowing completely. You're here because you're made for this next level, taking these places that most people won't. Start embracing it. Who cares what they do? They're not you. You'll go through more now than you think you're supposed to, but that shows you can cope with the highs and the lows, because you rose to be more. Could have run away, could have avoided the thorns, could have been comfortable. Blood, sweat, and tears, they're expendable. No more pretending, man, build something memorable. Don't drink from their cup or by stories they tell, because when all their time's up, you'll have dug your own well. You did it. use lifelines, you're topped off for a lifetime. So drop all those one-liners, we'll get them next time. No, this time is your time, and whatever you decide will end up being real life. No stop signs, just storylines. This whole thing is a misunderstanding, a miscalculation. Jumped and missed the landing. I'm mystified, I can waste so much time. These ovations are strictly imagination, not standing. So much for planning, guess fate left without me. Those failure statistics, yeah, they'll be about me. Was overly optimistic, forgot the logistics. Guess we all learn sometime, don't we? Good is not good enough. No, how long do I stay down before I let go? I buried my pride and took it inside, but never enough. It takes a toll, it gets old getting told you've got miles of road left to go. You're alone with this future unknown, just go home. Just go home, it's safe there. Yeah, I'll find some embrace there. Look, it's time to admit defeat. A humble retreat, check the box and complete to my core. Intrinsically, it's not for me, I can't do this. I knew this is how it would be. No fame, no fortune, no names on marquees. Just running in place every day on repeat. This is the world I wanna see, where everything's taken with no guarantees. No. Come on, man, pick your head up. Go back inside, half a life's learning to get up. How can I make you see that you have everything you need, and what you want to be is never out of reach? Fate deceives sometimes, but destiny's calling, so can't let the phone ring. You know there's no all-knowing. Go level up, no letdowns. Let the world in, push fear out. It's self-belief, it starts right now. When hell freezes, you lay down. Until then, it's your town, it's your story, it's your crown. Live in the clouds, feet on the ground. They stand still, you run around. Go mesmerize, where they socialize. There's dollar signs to be maximized. If you live it right, regret nothing. Loud applause, the sweetest sound, and this moment won't happen again, and never becomes forever unless you choose to begin. So see greatness in each step, and power in progress. Your future, yeah, that's limitless, it's infinite. Don't forget you want this.
Are you a trader? Then this is your chance to show your skills. Sign up to the ultimate demo trading competition on capex.com. Easy to register, no sign-up fee. Go now to capex.com. Search for the competition and sign up now to win. Terms and conditions apply. Capex.com is operated by JME Financial Services Pty Ltd, an authorized financial services provider. Join the competition today. capex.com.
Some say it's about natural talent. We say it's about strategy, discipline, tactics, and training to be the best. We say it's about persistence. We say success comes when preparation meets opportunity. We say it's all about the team. Capex.com, Juventus official trading partner. Chase your goals.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
Good afternoon and welcome to Bull Market Stock Show. This is your host, Ryan Upson, and we just did the Nelson Mandela Metro story about the second wave of the resurgence that is actually currently happening in the metro, and there is some wide speculation that the president might actually close down the metro and obviously other sectors of the world, especially I think the Western Cape is also another hot spot. But it will be very difficult for the people of Nelson Mandela Bay if there's another lockdown, because we can only imagine the amount of job losses that will occur, because in the first lockdown there was about 75,000 jobs lost, and obviously a second lockdown will do the same, because I mean this is the peak time for a lot of businesses, especially in the leisure industry, And if a lockdown do come, it will literally finish off quite a lot of businesses, and not just your hospitality, like your restaurants, your bars, and those type of businesses, wildlife, transportation. It will be quite difficult for a lot of entrepreneurs and also their employers. So I hope that the president is not going in with a hard lockdown, but maybe do some other measures to maybe curb the spread of COVID. But it's a touch and go situation. But later today, there is actually the non-farmers payrolls, a news that will be out of the United States, and I will actually provide you with that signal. There's actually two news bulletins that come out later. Is the one out of Canada, and I must say the Canadian dollar, as I said in this week, the Canadian dollar is actually performing extremely well. Although OPEC is still talking regarding a cut in the oil production, but there's a bit of a story that goes with OPEC, because they want actually to keep the 7.7 million barrels per day until January 2021, and then cut oil production to 5.8 million per day. That is now in January 2021 until April 2021. So they want to reduce the oil supply to 5.8 million barrels per day. Now, the 7.7 million was already a historic drop or a historic cut for the cartel, and another cut will actually boost up the oil prices. But there is countries that is totally against this this cut of supply, especially Russia, Iraq, Nigeria, and the UAE. They want to increase supply in 2021. So they have very good reason, because they do say that there's a vaccine, and because of the vaccine, people will feel much safer to travel around and to drive their cars, and we will not have this lockdown. So then they will actually, the oil producers wants to increase the supply. So because obviously to keep up with the demand, that is now if the vaccine is working. Now, the market is behaving like the vaccine is actually magic, because you can see actually the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ is going up, oil prices, gold prices, even the dollar actually going down. The dollar is actually getting a serious beating currently. And it just shows how powerful this vaccine news is actually, how powerful this news is about the vaccine. And it looks like Britain will be the first country to actually to roll out the vaccine. They say by next week they will start to push the vaccine for people. So that is actually very good news for Britain, and obviously to get the economy open and that people can get their lives back. So that is what they want actually in Britain. But there's also some heavy resistance to the vaccine. There's a lot of people. There was actually a survey done. There was about 40 people that 40% of the survey of people that actually said that they don't want the vaccine. They just think it's an absolute hoax. So I'm just not sure. Look, personally myself, I never actually heard of such a quick vaccine in my life, and normally a very complex story. But the vaccine is out in less than 12 months. I mean, that is something remarkable. And obviously people will have their doubts on how quick can you get this vaccine out. I mean, we are sitting with an HIV vaccine that's still not been out. And I mean, it's about over 10 years, so maybe 20 years or maybe 30 years that we're still waiting for that vaccine. And yeah, all of a sudden, you get a vaccine very quickly for COVID in approximately in less than 12 months. So obviously people will have some doubts on that. But on the other side, there will be some news later on, as I said, the NFP news, which I will actually give that signal out. And please don't forget also, there is a competition from CapEx on the link. You can actually, on the podcast, there's a link below where you can actually press on that link and register for the competition. So the competition will start on the 14th of December and it will end on the 19th of December. So please don't forget to register on that link. It is in description of the podcast. Now, later on, I will maybe 15 minutes before the time to give you the signal. Now, we're expecting about 500,000 jobs to be created in the United States. That is what the non-farmers payrolls are saying. That is now the forecast, 500,000. Consensus have it at 469,000. The previous was at 638,000. Unemployment rate in the United States, they expect it to be at 6.8%. The previous was at 6.9%. So that is what we expect. And then we have the big news out of Canada as well. Canada's economy is really doing well. The part-time jobs, they're expecting there of about 20,000 part-time jobs, and they're expecting about a full-time, about 40,000 jobs. And the employment, the employment change, they expect about 60,000. The unemployment rate for Canada at 8.9%, that was previous, and they expect the unemployment rate to be at 8.8%. So that two news will be actually very important later on. Will the NFP news bring some hope for the US dollar? I don't think so. I honestly don't think so, because I think the trend of the weak US dollar, it's a normal trend this time of the year, and it lasts until March, April. So unless something weird is happening for people to go into safe havens again, but the trend of a weak dollar normally persists at this time of the year until March, and normally your commodities go up. So I think I think that there's more power for the commodity currencies, that is now for Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and also other currencies like the euro and the British pound to move against the US dollar. So I think the time for the safe havens are basically down. But we also have to take in consideration OPEC will still make their announcement on this oil cuts, or will they give the cut, or will they actually increase supply? So we are not sure on that one. But in the meantime, it looks like the dollar will go further downwards because of the commodity trend this time of the year. Because of the winter in the northern hemisphere, it normally leads to an increase in commodities, especially your gold, your iron ore, your silver, oil prices, milk prices. All of those commodities normally increase this time of the year, and that's why you will see the dollar down. Also, it lifts up the industrial stocks, that is now also the equities of industrials, that is now the Dow Jones, that it also lift up, and your bond yield normally also go up because of the increase in inflation in the United States. So the bond yield, the 10-year bond yield in the United States normally also go up because of the inflation pressure from a weaker United States dollar. So I will be with you with the signal later today. For the NFP, that news will be announced at 3:30. So I will be online at about 3:15 just to bring you that news through. It is actually important news actually to go through later today, because this will be the last NFP for this year. So I don't want you to miss that one out. So please don't forget to register on the CapEx competition. There's prizes of about $10,000. First one, $5,000. Second one at $3,000, and the third one at $2,000. So please don't forget to register. Competition start on the 14th of December and end on the 19th of December. So that is it from my side for now. I will see you guys later at 3:15. Bye-bye.